I'm so what doors did Kevin Samuels open up for you, James?
I don't.
All right, so I'll rephrase it. Like, what did Kevin Samuels do for you that you would deem monumentous? And and that what did
By
that
him doing that, he gave me a lot of.
how does that
I
help
think
the community? So now that you've digested all his content, how has the dating field been for you? So the problem with the black men in our community was relationships. I'm just trying to find a correlation with that. I'm picking my brain because I'm trying to understand how um being in a relationship is the problem that black men are having. The last time I checked, it was education, jails, and institutions that were their biggest cornerstone. But I I'm trying to connect how a relationship will cure that. Like relationships are going to cure gang violence and the brokenness within a lot of these black men.
Well, So I don't know. It's yeah,
Can
it's crazy.
can
But
we
and
can
yeah,
we
no, that's the whole
agree?
thing.
Can we agree that
I'm
there's
sorry.
a cause and effect to everything? I have never been in a toxic relationship. But when I hear people talk about such toxicity in a relationship, my thinking is, what part did you play in that? Because it takes two to tango. A young lady is not just going to wake up on a Monday and want to ruin your life. What happened? What did you
I'm
do?
gonna tell you.
All right, I'm gonna chime in with this real quick, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Um, I mean, meaning that I'm not gonna say any more on the topic after this. Uh, in my life, even in the moments where I can victimize myself, right, and say this person caused me harm. In those moments, the way accountability works is by looking at the part that I played in the situation. Now, if a man knocks me in the back of my head and grapes me, there's no reason for me to take accountability in that moment, right? But if I allow a man into the home and ignore red flags that were clearly there, I can take accountability and say, yeah, he messed up my life, but I should have had more discernment. I should have followed my gut. I was in a low place spiritually, and I invited this into my life. And that's the way I run my life. Like regardless of what the circumstances were, I always look at the part that I play. Even the first time that I had discovered that I was cheated on, after I had my reaction, I left him, but I was able to call and apologize for the performance I put on, cuz that was the part that I played. But cheating on me was wrong. It wasn't taken away from the fact that he cheated on me. It was the fact that I could have handled that better. I could have said things better. I didn't have to call that man out his name. Out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, when I listen to you, James, there is no part in your story where you're taking responsibilities for the actions that you made. I can understand you saying, nah, she ran me over with that car. That was wrong. Yes, that was wrong. But why did you stand there and argue with her? Why didn't you just walk away and go home? Am I making sense to y'all?
No,
I'm
the
trying to
plan.
erase that cowardice mindset. Go ahead, monster. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. That's
Now,
different to me.
I'm
That's
gonna
you know
I'm
that's
gonna I'm gonna decenter James real quick. I'm gonna decenter James real quick. Let's go to my girlfriend. Um, my girlfriend has a terrible baby daddy. When she got pregnant with the second child, she stopped talking to me for 4 months because I told her, if you have that baby, you're selfish. And then I explained to her where I was coming from with it, and she hung the phone up on me, and she didn't talk to me for about 4 months, right? And then when we reunited, there came a point in our relationship where I had to go to her and I say, listen, I love you with every fiber in my body, but I can no longer have conversations with you about this man because you're not going to leave him. So the first time, oh girl, that nigga, I'll be like, yo, F that dirty foot mother effer. Who the hell he, the second time, now I'm like, oh, okay, he did it again. The third time, I'm like, nah, now you a willing participant. So I'm not only saying this to you, James. This is something that I apply to my life. I can't sit here and do the bugaboos with you guys about my exes because as soon as I smelt something funny, I walked away. I didn't wait for it to get toxic. I didn't find out the dude was cheating and then stay with him and then be mad at the female. I walked away gracefully. Does that make sense, James?
No, because and that's why.
Yeah, but
And
the difference between you and I is that I didn't paint him as a monster and just leave it like that. When I bought
he
it
was a monster.
when I bought it up, I mentioned, yeah, I got cheated on, but I could have handled my response differently. I didn't say, yo, this man did this and that and this and that. I didn't say none of that. I kept it real short and cute. That's the difference between you and I. I didn't go on to a whole
Being
tangent
way
on how
more
he
than
was
I
a
did.
demon. I don't think you catching what I'm putting down because I immediately followed it up by the part that I played. And I think you keep missing the fact that you have not yet once mentioned the part you played.
And we're gonna
And oh, my brain hurts. Cuz you sat here and basically proposition that being in a relationship is going to fix the black community, right? And if you
and
don't
community has to start with a relationship.
if you if you are under the guise that a relationship can fix the black community, you're already too far gone to be from the conversation, cuz basically what you're implying is that you want a woman to come into your life and make it better. And if you're
Oh,
not, if you're
that's
not
not what I'm implying.
you just said that a relationship will fix the community.
Yeah, but
That's codependency.
I didn't say I wanted a woman to come in my life and make my life better. I want because
No, go ahead, James. Answer the prompt. How did they discover it was a lie?
Y'all go back to court again. Nothing happens.
I looked it up, guys. It says that it came to light he wasn't at the party at the time, and the girl was raped by two of his teammates. And
No,
she,
that's the same one. There was a black guy and a black girl.
all right, so I'll look up black guy, black girl. I don't
Don't
think
all
you
go.
understand what I just read. He was not at the party at the time, but as the article goes on, that girl was mistaken, but she still got raped. Don't sit there and chuckle about that. Don't be insensitive.
It up.
The young lady was still assaulted, and we're not going to make light of that young lady's story. Okay?
He said he was.
Anybody else can go if y'all want while I look this up. Say that last part again, Panda.
I said in, with stati- Can you mute?
Right. Do Why do you think that is?